All right, buckle up, everyone, because today we're going deep, like really deep. We're diving into karmic patterns,
Mhm.
the lessons we carry from past lives, all seen through the lens of the law of one.
This is gonna be good.
You ever get that feeling like you're stuck in a loop, making the same mistakes over and over, directing the same kinds of problems?
Like that coworker who constantly pushes your buttons.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And the law of one says those might not just be random coincidences.
Right. It suggests those repeating patterns that could be echoes of experiences from past lives, like offering a chance to break free. Finally.
Okay, hold on. You're saying that annoying coworker who drives me crazy,
Mm.
that could be a karmic connection from a past life. Whoa.
It's wild, right?
I've always felt drawn to the law of one because it talks about this interconnectedness, but that's on another level.
Totally. But the law of one doesn't see karma as some kind of, cosmic punishment.
Right, right.
It's more like a cause and effect system that stretches across lifetimes, like cosmic inertia set in motion by our actions.
So it's not about what goes around comes around.
Not exactly, no.
More about how our choices, they make ripples.
Yeah,
And those ripples, they go way beyond this one life.
you got it. And here's the really interesting part. The Law of One says that understanding and forgiveness, those are the keys to balancing this karma. Like by recognizing those patterns and consciously making different choices, we can change things.
So it's not about like evening the score or paying off some cosmic debt. It's about evolving,
Yeah.
learning.
Yeah,
And this all ties into reincarnation, right?
absolutely.
The Law of One talks about our souls journeying through all these different lifetimes,
Mm-hmm.
and each one is like a chance to gain more wisdom.
Exactly. Each lifetime, it's like a chapter in the story of our soul.
Okay.
And what happens in those chapters, those experiences, they carry over. They shape who we are now and how we navigate this life.
You know, that actually makes me think about like all the times I've felt drawn to certain places
Yeah.
or certain periods in history, like inexplicably. Maybe there's some karmic connection I'm not even aware of.
It's totally possible.
This is getting deep. But I like how the Law of One offers this framework to understand things that seem like totally random.
It's pretty mind-blowing. But it gets even more interesting. Have you ever heard of wanderers?
Wanderers.
Yeah. The Law of One talks about them. They're souls from higher densities that choose to come to Earth to help it evolve.
Okay, wanderers. It sounds like something out of Star Trek. So you mean like advanced souls come down here to help us out?
Basically, yeah, they come from places where service to others is the main thing. But even wanderers, they have free will.
Really? Even with all that advanced wisdom?
The Law of One is clear about that. They can choose how they interact with Earth's energy.
So they could like fully embrace their mission to help, or they could get caught up in all the challenges here.
Exactly. It shows how complex choice is. Even super evolved beings can be influenced by the energy here on Earth.
So they're not immune to the struggles of being human.
Not at all. It reminds us we're all in this together, learning and evolving, no matter where we come from.
Speaking of evolving, what about this concept of harvest in the Law of One?
Oh, yeah. The harvest.
I've heard of it, but I never really understood what it means. Is it like a cosmic graduation ceremony?
Uh-huh. You could say that. It's the culmination of cycles, right? Where souls are evaluated based on their vibration and whether they've aligned with service to others or to themselves.
So it's not just about doing good deeds. It's about your overall intention.
Exactly. The energy behind your choices.
Oh, okay. This whole harvest thing, it makes me think about my own challenges and those recurring patterns in my life.
Yeah.
Could they be connected to lessons from past lives?
Yeah.
What if my soul chose these specific challenges for a reason?
That's a powerful question. Understanding the harvest, it can shed light on your soul's journey. It helps you see the bigger picture of why you're experiencing what you're experiencing now.
I'm already feeling like a shift in perspective. Instead of getting frustrated by these challenges, I'm starting to see them as chances to grow.
That's the key, but we're not done yet. The Law of One also talks about these things called energy centers
Energy centers.
or chakras. They're these vital points in our energy system, and they can get blocked by unresolved stuff like experiences and emotions from this life or even past lives.
Wait, you mean those energy centers I try to like balance with yoga and meditation? You're saying past life stuff can be clogging them up, even now.
Exactly. The Law of One gives us this really detailed picture of how everything's connected. Our energy, our mind, our emotions, our spirit. When one part is out of balance, it affects everything. Like, let's say you struggle to stand up for
Well,
yourself.
yeah, definitely been there.
That could mean your solar plexus chakra is blocked, maybe from a past life where your power was always being taken away.
This is blowing my mind. I'm seeing those recurring patterns in a totally new way.
Mm.
It's not about blaming past lives for my problems.
Yeah.
It's about understanding how they might be influencing me now, energetically, and finding ways to heal.
You got it. And the good news is healing practices and conscious effort can unblock those centers.
So by becoming aware of the blockages, we can actively work on clearing them.
Yeah. It's not about just accepting things. It's about understanding what's going on deep down and taking charge of our own healing and evolution.
That's so encouraging. It feels empowering. That means we have agency.
Exactly.
Yeah.
The law of one says we co-create our reality. We're not just victims of fate or karma.
That's incredible. I'm ready to dive even deeper into these energy centers and how they connect to past lives. This is just the beginning.
Oh, there's so much more to explore.
Can't wait. Let's uncover what's lurking beneath the surface.
Let's do it.
So, we've talked about how past life experiences, even if we don't remember them, can kind of linger in our energy system.
Yeah.
But how does that actually work? Does our soul, keep a detailed record of every single lifetime?
It's not exactly a journal, no.
And that record, it's energetically influencing us now.
It's more like certain experiences, especially those with, unresolved emotions or lessons. They leave a strong energetic imprint.
An imprint, yeah.
Imagine dropping a pebble in a pond.
Okay.
It makes ripples, right?
Mm-hmm.
And even after the pebble sinks, the ripples keep going. They still affect the water.
So those unresolved issues from past lives, they're like those ripples,
Exactly.
continuing to affect our energy and influence how we experience this life. It's like the past is still shaping the present, even if we don't realize it.
The law of one talks about a process, like after each life ends.
Okay.
The entity, your soul, it goes through a series of reflections.
So like a cosmic debriefing.
Haha, yeah, something like that. It's a chance to integrate the experiences and lessons from that lifetime, not about judgment or anything.
So our soul gets to review what worked, what didn't, what needs more work.
Yeah, exactly. And then with guidance from higher aspects of itself, the entity chooses the conditions for its next life.
Based on that self-assessment.
Right. It looks at the biases it picked up, the challenges it faced, the choices it made.
Wow.
Yeah.
It really makes you think about free will.
In what way?
Well, if our soul chooses the experiences for its next life, isn't that choosing our challenges? Why would we choose to struggle?
It's definitely a paradox. We have free will in each moment, but there's also this deeper intention guiding us towards experiences that help us grow.
So those tough experiences, they're actually opportunities for learning.
When you look at it from the perspective of soul evolution, yes.
That's actually a really helpful way to reframe things. Instead of feeling like a victim, I can see those challenges as stepping stones.
Exactly. Each life is like a fresh start, but with this subtle guidance system leading us toward the experiences we need.
Okay, that makes sense. But if we don't consciously remember those past lives, how can we access those imprints? How do we untangle those threads that might be affecting us now?
The law of one says those experiences, they live in our deeper energy and subconscious. They influence us by creating these energetic imprints that affect our perceptions, our patterns, how we react to things.
So even if the memories are hidden, the energy of those experiences is still there.
It's still very much alive, yes.
That makes me think about those times I've felt this intense fear or attraction to something.
Out of nowhere.
Almost like a memory, but not quite.
Those are great examples. The law of one says to pay attention to those intuitive feelings, those synchronicities, those echoes that hint at past life connections.
And those connections, they could even be with people in our lives now.
Totally. Like that coworker who always triggers you.
So that coworker might be reflecting something from a past life, giving me a chance to heal that pattern now.
It's definitely possible. It's like those relationships are mirrors, reflecting back the parts of ourselves that need healing.
This is all so fascinating.
Mm-hmm.
But if these patterns are so ingrained, can we actually break free from them? Can we rewrite those energetic scripts?
We're not meant to be trapped by karma. Remember, the law of one emphasizes understanding and forgiveness. Those are the keys to balancing things out.
So we need to recognize the patterns, take responsibility for our part in them, and then offer forgiveness to ourselves and others.
Yes.
But what about situations where someone's really hurt us? Does forgiving them mean we're saying it was okay?
Forgiveness isn't about condoning harmful actions.
Okay.
It's about releasing that heavy energy of resentment, choosing to move forward without being weighed down by anger or blame.
So it's more about freeing ourselves from that cycle.
Exactly. It's a
Yeah.
powerful way to heal ourselves. It can break those chains. Imagine you're holding a hot coal wanting to throw it at someone. You're the one getting burned.
Ouch. Yeah.
Forgiveness is like dropping the coal.
That's a great analogy. It really makes you realize that forgiveness is about taking care of yourself.
It is. It's about putting your well-being first. And remember, even if a direct apology or reconciliation isn't possible, you can still practice forgiveness in your heart.
That makes sense. You're basically cutting those energetic ties. Wow, this is giving me a whole new way to look at difficult relationships.
Yeah.
It's not about blaming anyone. It's about seeing those interactions as chances to heal and grow.
Exactly. And the law of ones, just some practical tools to help us with this, like meditation,
Right, right. We talked about that earlier.
energy healing.
But how can those help us with relationships specifically?
Well, meditation can help us develop self-awareness and, emotional regulation so we can respond to those triggers with more compassion and clarity.
So instead of just reacting, we create space to observe and choose a better response.
Yeah. And energy healing, it can help clear out those energetic blocks and stagnant energy that might be feeding into those reactive patterns. It's like cleaning out your energy system.
Like hitting the reset button.
Haha, sort of. It allows for a more balanced flow.
So we're talking about understanding, forgiveness, meditation, and energy healing as ways to work with those karmic patterns that show up in our relationships.
Yeah.
It's a lot to think about, but it's good to know we have tools to help us.
Absolutely. And these same tools, they can be applied to other areas of life too, like choosing a career path that aligns with your soul's purpose.
Oh, career choices. I was just thinking about that. They can feel so connected to those karmic patterns, too. It's like we're drawn to certain fields based on past life experiences or skills.
The law of one suggests that our careers, our passions, our talents, they often reflect those deeper soul lessons we're here to learn.
So, like that passion I've always had for, say, art,
Yeah,
that could be connected to a past life where I was an artist.
it's possible. And those dreams you have about, I don't know, being a musician,
Right.
they might be hinting at a past life where you were expressing yourself in a similar way.
That's so cool. But what if I feel totally unfulfilled in my current job? Does that mean I'm not living my soul's purpose? Like I'm off track somehow?
It could be a sign that you're ready for a change, yeah. The law of one says to pay attention to those feelings of dissatisfaction. They might be telling you to explore new options, to get out of your comfort zone and go after what truly excites you.
But changing careers is scary. There's the money part, the fear of the unknown, and what other people will think. It feels easier to just stay put, even if I'm miserable.
It's understandable to feel that way. But the law of one reminds us that we have the strength to pursue what truly resonates with our soul. It's about trusting the process, taking those steps, and letting the universe handle the rest.
Like, leap in the net will appear.
Exactly. Sometimes we just have to be brave and jump, trusting that we'll be supported.
Makes sense. But what does soul's purpose even mean? Does it have to be some big, impressive thing?
Not necessarily. Sometimes it's about bringing more love and kindness into the world, expressing your unique gifts in a way that brings you joy and meaning.
Wow, that's actually really beautiful.
Yeah.
This whole conversation has been so eye-opening. It's given me so much to think about.
And remember, this is just the beginning. There's so much more to explore in the law of one.
I'm definitely feeling inspired to dive deeper. But for now, thank you so much for sharing your insights. It's been amazing.
The pleasure was all mine. May exploring these concepts help you live more consciously and intentionally, more in tune with your true self.
That's a great thought. And to everyone listening, thanks for joining us on this journey.
Until next time,
Let's see what other amazing insights the Law of One has in store for us.
I can't wait.
All right, let's bring all this down to earth a bit. We've explored karma, past lives, and this whole mind-bending idea of time being like simultaneous.
Yeah, it's a lot.
But how does it all play out in our everyday lives, like in relationships?
Ooh.
Relationship. I swear, sometimes it feels like all my karmic patterns are on full display when I'm interacting with people, especially in those like difficult relationships.
Yeah. Relationships can be these powerful catalysts for growth. They often reflect those deeper karmic patterns we've been talking about. The law of one even suggests that unresolved stuff from past lives can show up in our current relationships.
You mean like that thing where I always seem to attract partners who are emotionally unavailable?
Yeah, for example.
Could that be like a karmic echo from a past life where I experienced similar patterns.
It's possible. Think of it this way. Those past life experiences, especially the ones with, strong emotions attached, the ones where maybe we didn't learn the lesson the first time around,
Okay.
they create these energetic imprints that actually attract certain types of people and situations into our lives.
So it's like we're drawn to people who can help us work through those karmic knots, even if it feels like the opposite of helpful at the time.
It can definitely feel that way.
But if we know this is happening, how do we break free? It feels like we just keep replaying the same scenes with different people.
Well, the Law of One really emphasizes understanding and forgiveness. It's about seeing those habitual reactions we have and choosing to respond differently.
But what about forgiveness, though?
Yeah.
Like understanding someone might be acting out a karmic pattern, that's one thing. But what if they've actually hurt us? Does forgiving them mean we're saying what they did was okay?
That's a really important question, and it's a common concern. Forgiveness doesn't mean condoning harmful actions or, pretending the pain isn't real. It's about letting go of that resentment we're holding on to.
So it's more about freeing ourselves from that karmic loop,
Exactly.
not about absolving the other person.
It's about shifting our own energy, changing our perspective, not waiting for them to apologize or change their behavior.
It's more about self-healing.
It's a powerful act of self-healing. It can actually help break those karmic chains. There's that saying, holding on to anger is like drinking poison and expecting the other person to die.
I've heard that one.
Forgiveness is like choosing to put down the poison.
It's a powerful image. It makes me realize that forgiveness is really about taking care of myself.
It is. It's putting your well-being first. And remember, even if you can't get a direct apology or reconciliation, you can still practice forgiveness in your heart. You can choose to release those energetic ties to the past.
Wow. This is really shifting how I think about those challenging relationships. It's not about blame. It's about seeing those interactions as opportunities for healing and growth.
Exactly. And the Law of One offers some tools to help us with this process, like those we mentioned earlier, meditation and energy healing.
Right, right.
They can be so helpful for navigating relationships.
I can see how meditation would be useful. Relationships can really trigger those deep wounds, bringing those karmic patterns to the surface.
Oh, for sure. And meditation, it helps us develop that self-awareness and emotional regulation we need to handle those triggers with, like more skill and compassion. Instead of just reacting, we create that space to observe and choose a better response.
So it's about creating a pause between the trigger and the reaction.
Exactly. You get to choose how you want to respond. And energy healing, that can help clear out those energetic blocks that might be contributing to those reactive patterns.
It's like clearing out the energetic clutter.
Yeah, exactly. It creates more balance and harmony in our energy system.
Okay, so we've got understanding, forgiveness, meditation, and energy healing. All tools to help us work with those karmic patterns that show up in relationships.
Yeah.
It's a lot, but it's encouraging to know we have these tools available.
It is. And these same tools, they can be applied to other areas of life too, like finding a career path that truly aligns with our soul's purpose.
Oh, that's a perfect segue. Career choices. It's funny, it often feels like our careers are tied to those deeper karmic patterns too. Like we're drawn to certain fields based on past life skills or experiences.
The Law of One suggests that our passions, our talents, even the careers we're drawn to, they're often expressions of those deeper soul lessons we've chosen to learn.
So that, like, unexplainable passion I've always had for writing, could that be connected to a past life where I was, like, a scribe or a poet or something?
It's definitely possible. The Law of One encourages us to explore those feelings, those intuitive nudges, those synchronicities that feel like whispers from past lives. They might be guiding us toward the paths that resonate with our soul's purpose.
But what if I'm in a job that makes me feel totally unfulfilled? Does that mean I'm not living my purpose? Like I'm somehow off track?
It could be a sign that you're ready for something new, yeah.
The Law of One reminds us to pay attention to those feelings of dissatisfaction. They might be nudging us to explore different possibilities, to step outside our comfort zone and pursue those things that light us up.
But changing careers, it's scary. There's the money part, the fear of the unknown, and like the pressure to conform to what society expects.
Yeah.
It feels easier to just stay stuck, even if it's slowly killing my soul. I get it. It's totally normal to feel that way. But remember, the Law of One says we have the strength within us to go after what truly resonates with our souls. It's about trust. Trusting the process, taking those aligned actions, and letting the universe handle the details.
It's like taking a leap of faith.
Exactly. Sometimes you just got to jump and trust that the net will appear.
Okay, that makes sense. But this whole soul's purpose thing, does it have to be some grand, impressive mission?
Not at all. Sometimes it's about the simple things, bringing more love and kindness into your daily life, expressing your unique talents in a way that brings you joy.
That's actually really comforting. This whole conversation has been so eye-opening. It's given me a lot to think about.
And remember, this is just the beginning of your exploration. The Law of One has so much more to offer. Keep diving deeper, keep asking questions.
I definitely will. But for now, I just want to say thank you. This has been amazing.
My pleasure. I'm so glad we could explore these ideas together.
And to everyone listening, thank you for joining us on this deep dive into the Law of One. It's been a wild ride. Until next time, may your journey be filled with love, light, and the courage to follow your soul's purpose.